Orlando pulled in 75.3 million visitors last year, more than the entire population of California and Texas combined. Yet the highway funneling families to the most magical place on Earth is among America's deadliest. And just a few miles from the fireworks sits a mass casualty crime scene and an ecosystem that literally poisoned itself for decades. Welcome back to Maps Explained, where we reveal the mysteries your geography class never taught you. Click subscribe so you don't miss our next exploration. By the end of this video, you'll know the real Orlando playbook, the risks on the road in, the politics behind the parks, and the scars the brochures skip. The mask versus the map. Orlando set a new record in 2024, 75.33 million visitors. The convention center alone logged 1.74 million attendees across 172 events. That's the smiling surface. Underneath, police handled 757,799 calls for service in 2024, about 2,075 calls a day, even as overall reported crime fell 18% and violent crime dropped 10%. Then there's the housing inequality. In January 2025, a point-in-time count found 2,781 people without stable housing across Central Florida. Analysts rank the metro among the worst for deeply affordable units, only 19 affordable homes per 100 extremely low-income renters. The ground beneath your feet. Central Florida sits on dissolving limestone, classic karst. That means the floor can drop out at any time. Florida features more sinkholes than any other state. During a single 2010 cold snap, 110 sinkholes opened near Dover in just days as farmers pumped groundwater. Pretty lakes don't always start pretty. In 1981, Winter Park watched a neighborhood sag, then rip open, a pit 300 feet wide swallowing trees, then a house, then a luxury car lot, and finally an entire section of the road. Today, it's tranquil Lake Rose. The water looks calm. The truth under it isn't. West of the parks, Lake Apopka was hammered by decades of farm runoff and pesticides, triggering mass bird die-offs and warped food chains. In 1998, Florida spent roughly $100 million to buy out around 15,000 acres of muck farms to start undoing the damage. Today, birdwatchers flock back and water clarity is better. But fish advisories still warn families to think twice before dinner. The system behind the magic. For decades, Disney's Reedy Creek Improvement District let the company act like a mini-county for roughly 39 square miles, issuing bonds, inspecting its own buildings, even holding paper authority to build an airport or nuclear plant. In 2023, the state seized control and renamed it the Central Florida Tourism Oversight District. Lawsuits flew. Both sides settled in state court and paused a federal appeal while they hammered out a new development deal. What mini-government really meant: write your own code. Reedy Creek created the Epcot building codes in 1970, custom rules for castles, dark rides, and underground service corridors, enforced by Disney's own building department. Float your own money. The district carried $1.176 billion in bond debt at one point. Tax-exempt financing to build roads, utilities, and fire stations serving Disney property. All the county powers without the county politics. Reedy Creek ran fire, EMS, utilities, drainage canals, and roadwork across Bay Lake and Lake Buena Vista, two cities with tiny resident populations sitting inside a private resort. Rules aside, how safe is the show itself? Florida's megaparks self-inspect but must report serious injuries and deaths to the state each quarter. Those incident lists keep growing: guest accidents, heart issues, drownings, head injuries, and cast member fatalities. What the brochures bury. Interstate 4 is 132 miles of stress and routinely ranks as the deadliest interstate in the U.S., about 34 fatal crashes per 100 miles, roughly 45 deaths a year along the corridor. Speed and congestion do most of the damage. On September 17, 2025, a 32-year-old man died of blunt impact injuries after riding Stardust racers at Epic Universe. The medical examiner ruled it accidental. Investigators say the ride systems worked as designed. Universal announced the coaster would reopen with updated guidance and signage, even as the sheriff's investigation continues. Also in September 2025, a 7-day Polk County operation made 246 arrests targeting human trafficking and solicitation. The breakdown: 230 on solicitation-related charges, 16 suspected child predators, with additional trafficking counts. Central Florida's tourism gravity pulls in money and people who hunt the vulnerable. Here's the real Orlando: record tourism and curated corridors laid over Sinkhole country, a lake that sickened an entire food web, a theme park fiefdom turned political football, a lethal interstate, and trafficking stings. Drop a comment. What did you see in Orlando that never made the brochure? And which city's secrets should we expose next? If you enjoyed this video, you'll love our series called City Secrets. You can watch that right here.